production that Blessing for You Online TV, where you get to meet your favorite artists, entertainers, actors, models, movie producers, music producers, local businesses. It's your favorite boy, Priye, and today we have something really different from the usual, something cultural, historical to an extent. We have a seasoned historian. I'm going to call him a budding historian. How are you doing, Mr. Mavis? Thank you for coming.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Like I said, something different. So can you tell us something different?
Okay. First and foremost, I'd like to give a full introduction of myself.
All right.
My name is Imasuen Mavis. I'm the interim coordinator general of Great Benin Movement, and I guess that's the basic introduction of myself, sir.
All right. So, kindly tell us about the Great Benin Movement.
Well, Great Benin Movement, it's more of like a unity movement where we want to find a way we can reconnect back the ancestral connections of all ethnic nationality that migrated from Benin centuries of years ago. And our major objective is to bring these people together and start to reconnect and discuss our historical and cultural connection, as well as we can also talk about how the socio-economic perspective of our unity. So basically, it's more of like a unity forum.
Okay, so those are the goals and objectives as well?
Yes, the major.
All right, so what is the difference between the Edo and the Benin and the Benin?
For the viewers,
yeah,
the Edo, Benin, and Benin is more of like one of the Benin is spelled as the B-E-N-I-N,
okay,
and the other one is spelled as B-I-N-I. Now, the one spelled as B-I-N-I does not historically exist in Benin. In more of like our orthography, our lexicon. It was in the earliest 20th century by the earliest Benin historian who trying to propagate, in other words, differentiate between the Edo South, who now speaks the Benin language, from other Edo people. All right, but basically the B-E-N-I-N is more of like the holistic approach of what we are looking at. First of all, it's good for we to have a better understanding of this whole scenario. First of all, look at it from the historical perspective. In Benin, we have two dynasties. In Benin, we basically have two dynasties in which we have Ogiso dynasty and the Oba dynasty. We presently have the second dynasty. But before the commencement of the Ogiso dynasty, we had names that this land was referred to. But the most popular amongst all of them is the Igodo Migodo.
Okay.
Now, that's what the land was referred to in the ancient time. But very few persons knew that before the land was called Igodo Migodo, we also known, we had other two names, basically. And the first of which is Idu land. We're first of all referred to as Idu land.
Okay.
Now, the word Idu, it's not something really very popular in Benin because of the fact that the modern or contemporary modern historians have not been able to propagate this history for a very long time. So, but actually, Pa Idu is the progenitor of the Benin race. When I mean Benin now, I'm referring to the B-E-N-I-N,
okay,
not the B-I-N-I. All right. So, and after shortly, some of the persons who came, eventually came to this land, Efa and Emehi, is a long history.
Right.
So, because of the topography of land, like for example, if you are at on top of the hill of Ikboba Hill, you can see the central Benin. So, because of that topography, they call it Ogboka. Ogboka means undulating, it's not straight. All right, so they called it Ubini. So they called the land Ubini. Now, Ubini is a Benin word in English translated as the place of heavenly pageantry. Because of the scope, the vantage height they were looking at, the depression, the kind of soil, because it's a rainforest with water, the Oba River flowing, the Koba River flowing, so it was not like heavenly. It was beautiful at that time. We're talking about over 2,500 years ago. So it was beautiful.
Wow.
So they named it Ubini. Now, when the British, around the 15th century, when the Portuguese came in the 15th century, the late 15th century, they could not pronounce Ubini properly. So they mispronounced it as Benin. That's the B-E-N-I-N. So that's where Benin was corrupted from Ubini. Alright, Ubini is spelled as U-B-I-N-I. But the B-I-N-I was not actually corrupted from any word. So right now there is a standing comment, 2004 by late Oba Benin, Oba Radio in 2004, make more of like a public announcement as regards the use of B-I-N-I, that the word B-I-N-I does not exist in orthography and lexicon. That's because it doesn't have any historical background. And again, we look at the word Edo now. Edo, the origin of the word Edo is traced back to the time of Obaiwai the First, being that we now have Obaiwai the Second. So the first was Obaiwai the First Ogidigan. Now, during his travail before he became the Oba, he was called Prince Ogun. All right. Before any Oba becomes the Oba, they first of all have a princely name given to them by their father. Like this one that we have was Crown Prince Eheneden. So on the ascension to the throne, so he had to go to Usi to choose his name. So that one also had a name. His name was Prince Ogun. All right. During his travail, he wanted to become the Oba, so he had so much problem. So as the story goes, he was saved by a boy, and the name of the boy was known as Edo. All right. So after he became the Oba, the master of the slave that saved him killed the boy because he was not supposed to save him. So in memory of the feat achieved by the boy to the Oba, Ona became Obaiwai the First. And I said, let this land be named as Edo. All right. So that's the origin of the word Edo. But before the word Edo came, the word Ubini had been existing for over 1,500 years. It was that Ubini that was corrupted to the present day Benin. So that is why you see the word Benin, B-E-N-I-N, has a more standard, a more global recognition. So that's why you say Oba of Benin. Okay. When you mean Oba of Benin, you are not saying just for the Benin alone. Okay. And again, who are the Benins? Now, what we call Benin Empire is huge, because most of the Asans, unknowingly to them, they are more Benin than even Edo. Alright? Then the Afema, they are Benins as well. But as time goes on, I'll try and relate. But one thing I want the viewer to know is that Edo is a substract of a larger body called Benin. Okay, so that's why we're
going to come back to that question.
Okay.
But let me ask you this: is the Benin Palace aware of this movement, and the Oba of Benin, is he also aware of this movement of yours?
I wouldn't say that the Oba of Benin for now is aware of the movement. The reason is because we have not formally had this interaction about introducing this Great Benin movement to him. But the Iyase of Benin, Iyase of Benin is the second in command.
Okay, after
the Oba of Benin in the organogram of administration, is the Iyase of Benin. Is well abreast of Great Benin movement and is in total support.
Alright, so let's come back to that question now. So when we say the Benin Kingdom, what does it really mean?
Well, the Benin Kingdom has different definitions.
Okay.
There was also a time where Benin Empire, but presently we are Benin Kingdom.
Alright.
But before the time of Obaiwai the First, Obaiwai the First is regarded as Ogidigan. Ogidigan simply means the great. It's because of the feat of expanding the kingdom to become empire.
This is the Richie family aka Imakoi. Yeah, I'm on the Blessing Production. Please do not take your face off the station. Keep watching that Blessing Production. Cool.